track the hand, for example, from here until it gets here. If you use like the art tracker, you probably see that instead of doing something like this, it will be doing, I don't know, something like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just at some point you'll need to activate that. I always, when I'm splining, I'm always activating the art tracker for hands and then for the nose. And sometimes if a feet is moving too much or whatever, I get the tip of the feet or the backside of it. But yeah, in this case, for example, I see that when the hand is moving backwards. And also in this one, I feel like there's too many erratic movements, not too exaggerated. I mean, it's not moving all over the place, but I can see not very clean trajectories. So make sure that you follow them and spend some time with it. The hands are one of the things that we are always watching, hands and faces. So those three things, actually, two hands and faces, is the two things that people always pay attention to. So they have to be very smooth and they have to be very clean. The rest is more okay. For example, the feet, rarely people just look at them. If you see in movies from Pixar, sometimes they're not even clean. You will see steps, some weird steps over there. Okay. This knot you're doing, I love it, but I think we should do it a bit more fast. I mean, like tighter the keys. Right now, I feel like he's doing this. And I think in this situation, he's more like, you know what I mean? Get those keys tighter so we actually don't spend so much time in the in-betweens. Yeah, see all those movements, we can track the nose going very smoothly, like easing. I think it's nicer if we just spend less time here in the middle. Let me see more the first part. Yeah. Here, for example, I'm missing a little bit of overlap. So everything is going at the same time down, right? So he has both hands like that, and he's doing like this. And I'm kind of missing the head to be a little bit of overlappy there. So the chest is the first one moving. So you'll do something like, I'm exaggerating, but it's like, right? But I want to feel how the head is the last thing to come down. Right now, because it feels like everything from here to here is moving the same amount downwards, and it doesn't have any shape change on the torso or the head. So I'm kind of missing that when he does this first bit. Usually in this situation, what I would do is, if I have my character like that, the hands are probably the ones that are going to be later. So I'll do something like, you know, like emphasize that those hands are going to stay longer up. And it's doing more like when all my body has reached the final position is when the hands are going to almost be getting there. So there's your connection with the audience watching those hands. And I like the overlap you did there. It's cool. Oh, sorry, the overshoot, very nice. And also with the finger. Be careful with the bottle. It's like moving too much there. See here. It seems to be like already grabbing it, but it's like a little bit tricky. I guess that's something with the constraint, like you said, so. I kind of read very easily this movement here in this hand. I read it. I know what you're trying to do. I think it needs a little bit more cleanup, but I think it's working. But I don't read it so good in the other one. So probably, yeah, I think you should stay longer here. Yeah, right now it goes up. It takes a long time to get up. It's more like doing this. And then you just go back to here. I don't see like these movements, so I'm missing it. So I would say, yeah, even you don't need to go so fast to grabbing the bottle again full. You can just do like, and then grabbing it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like it's just doing this now instead of, so that I would try to do something like that. I think only by adding some overlap to the head. I think throughout all this first part, if you delay all the keys one frame in rotations and translations, it's going to be way nicer because everything is going to be overlapped with the head, because that's what the attention is going to be with the hands as well. So yeah, first this part, and then when he goes up, it's the same, right? Everything is moving up. I kind of see a little bit of overlap in the head, but I would try to increase it when he's doing this. Try to increase it more to see how it works. Here, for example, with the feet, since he's only going to stay in this position for one frame, I don't kind of read enough those feet in the air. So try to have this one, this feet, try to get them closer to its higher position, so that we actually see at least 2 frames those feet up high. Yeah, and then you can go directly to where you have here. It's going to work since the feet are so big. It's going to work, both of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think overall the pose should try. These 2 poses are too different, and we need to read it more close to this one, because that's the compressed one, and when it's higher above, so we need to make them quite similar. So for example, the root here, it's higher than here. I would try to have the root in this, almost in the same position as well. It's like to read that pose, we need to read it a bit better. So another thing here, when he does this, it's awesome, but I try to make it more exaggerated the timing wise. So more compress the keys. Right now it's like, right? So I want to do like, so we feel more the extremes and we don't see those in between so much. Especially in this part where he's going to be like chaotic and really crazy, we need to see that more exaggerated. Here, for example, this is one of the problems, for example, that has FK, right? So you are animating and we're trying to get this working, and this hand, since it's in FK, is following every movement we have from the body and from the chest. See how it's moving? So that's why I usually get an IK. It's true that if I leave IK here, it's going to be stuck in the same space even if I'm moving. But in the end, what I'm going to do is just move around that hand a little bit. But I am the one who's in control of that hand, not the chest, not the shoulder. Because if I move to the shoulder, this is going to go up and stuff like that. So this is one of the reasons why I usually work in IK. Here you could also add some overlap to the hand. So when I'm doing these and I'm moving closer to the character and this hand staying here, you can do overlaps with that head. So we feel more like the skin moving and the character moving itself. I like this transition you're doing with the head. Very nice. This arc, very cool. And it's working very nice in the animation. Yeah, I like it's very cool. And I love the chopping. I love the deformations you did with the hand. So we have this. It's amazing. But I feel the same as when he's pointing here. We need to be more snappy. We need to do like, instead of doing this and see this movement. You know what I mean, Amy? I think because, so I'm kind of losing the sense of hitting, right? So it's chopping, and chopping is more like I'm hitting something, and I'm losing that sense, right, by doing this. So I would probably try to, you know what I mean?
Like just completely stiff palms the whole time?
No, probably you can leave those, but I would compress the timing. So, so you're here, and this is awesome, you can leave it, but see how many frames you're spending until you get here? You're spending like 4 frames. So you could actually leave this hand, could be up here still, right? You can start doing that arc you have. Here, you'll be something here, closer. And then you get here. So it's going to be more like, instead of, understand, kind of?
Mhm.
Sorry about my drawings, I'm just going very fast. And I'm not the best drawer ever, so.
It makes sense.
Okay, cool. But for example, this here is working. When you do this, that's a good opportunity to do so because you're trying to drag the hand, but you're not trying to do like a chopping action. So this is very cool. I would only try to follow the path. This is a very nice opportunity to, I'm gonna try, probably I'll show you later one of the shots I did in Willoughby, so I can show you what I mean by this, but try to follow the same path. Imagine a straight line from here to here, right? So it would be something like this, right? So I would try to follow that path with all the arm, with the black and with the hand itself. So you'll probably have to deform the character here a little bit, but this is more for polishing. But that's gonna make a feeling like doing something. It's very, I cannot do it, but you know what I mean. So instead of having this here, you'll probably have it here.
So it's kind of like this hose, like this. It's hard to explain. Like one long pipe.
Exactly.
It feels like.
Exactly. Instead of trying to do an arc here, that is cool. I think it's a nice opportunity to do this, and it will be very fun to see the hand doing something like that. You can try. If you don't like it, you can keep it this way because you still have a nice arc. So I leave that decision up to you. I like this when he changes the bottle. I think the timing is very nice. And also all this movement needs overlaps as well, especially in rotations with the head. So he's higher and you have this rotation in X, very nice. But when he gets here, I don't feel like he's coming down. I don't see those eyes looking down like he's doing this. I don't feel that, and I think it's very important here because he's looking very up high and we need him to look very down here. Because he's gonna look down, so we need to go further than this. And here I would do also an arc, try to track what the root is doing as well. So you see that he's gonna have to be doing something like this. There's a lot of notes, but it's just tiny things that I think is gonna improve the shot. So you don't need to do all of them, just whatever you feel and trying to help you out.
No, totally. I appreciate all of them.
Okay, cool. In this last part, I think this hand is working pretty good. Yeah, and I am still feeling a little bit of need of overlap with the head. For example, when he gets here, it's more like, so we actually need to see that overlapness. But yeah, I think the rest is, well, and also a little bit of work here with this hand. Yeah, it's more like doing something strange with the fingers when it gets the position, but then the fingers are relocating. I don't know, just clean this up a little bit. I know you know what to do. Yeah. And now that I'm seeing it, it's probably better if you just finish here. I don't know if you'll have time. Right now I feel it's too fast when he does this, then this, and then goes down. I think you don't have enough frames. Well, I leave it up to you. You can keep going, and if you actually find that it works the timing, you can leave it. But right now I feel it's too busy there.
Like having the hand move down?
Yeah, I would probably finish here, just like this, when he does the first time with this, and then he does